Hi, it's Leah Marie with the Mind Health Coach program, and I wanted to talk today about mooditations and why I do them. So, I often post these little nature videos that inspire me to meditate. It's just kind of in the moment, I will see something that sparks me to say, okay, this is a time that I want to take and just tune into this moment, this present moment, and be extremely in a state of mindfulness and awareness, and just really tap into the energy of that moment and bring that inner peace in and experience gratitude. And so, why do I do all of this? And it's been proven that a meditation practice will help you do so many things, and so that's why I do it. And so why do I do these little crazy videos of nature that a lot of people are probably like, hey, you know what, I've seen a million sunsets, and that's fine and all, and I've seen the ocean and that sort of thing, but I'm trying to reach that audience that maybe hasn't had the opportunity to get outside. Maybe they're stuck in an office with, I've been in those offices where they're totally enclosed and there's no windows and you don't see nature. You're spending a lot of time in these office spaces or buildings that don't allow you the time to actually get out and see it for yourself. So I record these little moments that the average person could come upon in nature in order to provide you the right environment for meditating. And why nature? Because a lot of people can totally relate to the feelings that nature inspires, the gratitude of the beauty that Mother Nature brings. So that's one of the reasons why I use nature. And then I also talk about breathing, and there's other techniques as well that you can get yourself centered enough to be in the mood to meditate. Sometimes people think, oh God, I'm going to try meditating and it's going to get rid of all of my problems, and then they try it once or twice and they say, oh, I can't do that because it's just too difficult. And honestly, it isn't that it's too difficult. We all can do that, and our brains actually need it every day. So every day our brains need, in the 24-hour cycle of time, that downtime, which is called alpha brainwave state. Now, alpha brainwave state, I always explain to people, it is the state of mind where you're doing the mindfulness meditation practices that are great to help you improve your health, lower anxiety and stress. And, there's studies that have actually shown that alpha brainwave state mindfulness meditations are so powerful that they will help you grow gray brain matter in the areas for learning, language, and compassion. And there's some phenomenal studies out there, but one that I particularly resonated with was, well, there's a few of them that I do, but there's one by Dr. Sarah Lazar, who is she's a Harvard researcher, and she did a study at Massachusetts General Hospital years ago, and found that mindfulness meditation after 8 weeks actually changes your brain so much that there's that growth of gray brain matter. And as I said, there's other studies that have occurred out there that are related to dementia and Alzheimer's. And, I've been in that profession of caring for people with that disease process for a long time. And I will tell you, from seeing that side of humanity at the end of life, and also prior to that, the stages that people go through with dementia and the caregivers that also are caring for them, I feel it's my mission to really educate about what we need to do to improve our brain health. People think, oh, brains are just for using for thinking, and, I can basically do anything I want. Like, I can go drinking, I can do any recreational things that are probably illegal. And my brain's going to be just fine. And I'm here to tell you that, you've really got to be careful with what you're doing with your brain health. And it is just as important, if not more important, from what I see, as I said, in the end-of-life situations going on with people with dementia and other Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia, that you really want to start taking care of your brain as early as you possibly can. Because if you saw the things and the tragedies that I see go on within families and the experiences that people end up having, it's like that's not a route you want to take. You want to take care of your brain. And so meditation is a great daily lifestyle practice to implement in order to do that. And so a lot of people will say, oh yeah, like I said initially, I don't have time, or I've heard it all because I've taught so many meditation classes, and I've heard it even from healthcare professionals. I've worked in that field for a long time, and I did a lot of education for different healthcare workers. And, I'd hear to everything from, I don't even have time to brush my teeth, so how am I going to fit in meditation, to it gives me a headache, I just can't sit still long enough. But I'm going to simplify it for you, okay? I'm going to let you know there are some secrets, and that's why I do my little meditation moments called mooditations. And I also have recorded meditations called mooditations. I have one for every day of the week. They're all based on different kind of vibes. Like there's one that's related to nature's blessings. There's one related to self-awareness, and then there's others that are related to creativity, and then the ocean, and just different aspects of what we experience in this universe and how we interact with it. I love thinking about how we interact with the universe and all the gifts that are given to us, and really exploring that for ourselves and seeing how we can tap into the highest good for ourselves and everyone on the planet, including the planet. So meditation, as I said, it's not as hard as it seems. And if you are to follow my mooditations, you can find me on Facebook. I post them almost daily, a little mooditation moment every day for you to get guidance on how to start your meditation moments. And the mooditation is all about that. It's so important that when you're going into meditation that you're going to be in a state of gratitude, in a state of worry-free, in a state of relaxation. And so it's important that you use tools and clear your energy to get there in order to have the best results. And so that's a lot of what I teach in my program that I have called 8 Weeks to a Better Brain with meditation. And I just think that it's so important to understand our lifestyles today, being that we have these cell phones, we have these jobs that are kind of like always on culture type jobs. We have, people in our lives that are needing us, and they're able to get in touch with us right away. There's not a lot of time. There's not a lot of personal self-care time unless you set boundaries and you schedule that for yourself. And so I'm here to remind you that your brain is asking you to take the time, and it's only 12 to 27 minutes per day. I know that sounds like a very strange number, but that's the actual numbers that was given from the results of the study on improvement to brain health. And so it's 12 to 27 minutes per day of your time focused on you and your brain health. And you know what else it also translates into? It also lowers blood pressure. It removes anything to do with anxiety, because you are working on that every day, and you're setting up new neural pathways in your brain. You're rewiring your brain, and that enables you to have a different perspective on your reality. So people that get extremely stressed, and I'm one that is very much, I've had a lot of things that have happened, and so environmental stress and just having that kind of worrisome personality from childhood, I needed to really work on this. A lot of times I'll explain, I had a near-death experience when I was 32 years old, I think it was, and 31 it was actually. And I had a horse rear up and fall over backwards on top of me. It stopped my heart, and my dad had to resuscitate me. And he gave me life twice, so I'm very grateful for that. I often incorporate that into my daily meditation. And, you know, it was an experience that caused me to have post-traumatic stress disorder. So I, you know, had to find ways to overcome that, you know, because I could have been living that life of fear and in stress. And I'm 50 now, I probably would have had massive heart disease and high blood pressure, but I'm pretty normal. I actually, you know, kept my health in good check. So, you know, I'm really fortunate that I found meditation, and it was actually as a result of that experience, because I did have a spiritual encounter. I had, you know, feelings of so much love that's beyond our capacity here on earth, and the experience that I felt from touching that energy, I always wanted to experience it again. And I feel that meditation brings me there. So every day I get to touch that divine experience of love that is so hard for me to explain, because it was just, it's not the same as what you experience here, but it was just so immensely incredible. You know, I can't, there's no words to explain what I felt from that experience of being on the other side. But it was only a brief moment, and I can actually tell you that I was very challenged with speaking about it for a long time. I felt people thought I was going to be crazy. I thought, you know, people wouldn't believe me. But, you know, I was inspired to share down the road. I actually have spoken at many different events, including at hospital groups and other healthcare providers events about the experience. And, you know, all I can say is that there was night and day when I was out of the body and having the experience on the other side, and I could actually feel myself being slid back into my physical body. My soul was basically placed back in, and the only way that I really can justify the truth of this is that I actually felt the pain and the love as separate experiences. So when I was out of the body, it was totally unbelievable. And then I felt this feeling of, you know, the intense pain that my physical body was experiencing. I had a blown out disc. I had a concussion. I had gone unconscious, and I had internal bleeding. The horse that was 1,000 pounds plus landed on my lower abdomen. And I am so fortunate I did not break any bones, but I did have a challenging recovery. I had difficulty walking for a while. I actually had to walk with a walker for a little bit. And I actually had to just walk at a very slow pace. And I was a mother of 2 children. My children at the time were like a little under a year, one of them, and the other one was just over 2. So my hands were full. And this happened 21 years ago. 20 years ago, excuse me. And I am totally fine now. Like, I can move around, I've got no problems, and I contribute all of that to the power of meditation and the other holistic practices that I have become, you know, certified in, and, you know, things such as EFT and, you know, Ayurveda, yoga. I just think there's such empowering different types of aspects of our self-care that it's so healing. I can't even, words can't describe what it's done for me, because it changed my life, all of these different practices. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, and I love to share about it. So I wanted to just put together this video, though, quick. I know it's, you know, probably taking you a few minutes to get through it, but I wanted to let you know that taking care of your brain is so important, and starting at any time, any age, it will make an impact. So stay tuned for my meditations. If you're inspired, please check in on them every day. You can find me on Facebook, Leah Marie 999. I think you can find my Facebook page and follow that. And the Mind Health Coach program, you can find me there, mindhealthcoach.com. I also will be running some online teachings and also some classes around New England, so I'm excited about that. And remember, everybody, please use your time wisely. Please take at least 12 to 27 minutes every day to honor that space that our brain needs. We need to be in that alpha brainwave state from 12 to 27 minutes every day. An ultimate time to meditate is actually at 5:30 in the morning. That's the best time. And then in the evening before you go to bed around 10 o'clock is another great time. Those are kind of down times for most of us that work normal schedules and have families and stuff. So if you can just space that time out, like have that time just as a sacred time for you every day, I encourage you to do that, and tune into the Mooditations. You can buy MP3s on my website, mindhealthcoach.com. And as I said, I'll have more teachings online available. So I really look forward to hearing people that are experiencing wonderful meditations. Please like, subscribe, and share. I really would love to see the community grow on this. And just, I hope all of you take this advice because, as I said, I've seen really tragic situations and the statistics are alarming. The statistics are pretty overwhelming. There's 1 in 2 people over 85 have Alzheimer's. I'd read that statistic somewhere. And 1 in 5 caregivers, family caregivers, pass before their loved one passes with Alzheimer's because it's such a long disease process. It's, typically people are starting to develop a dementia-related disease process because they're not taking care of their brain at around age 45. So 40 to 45 is when the disease process starts. And, then it's typically not diagnosed till later on in life, but you've already been experiencing some early stage memory loss and that sort of thing. But then as it progresses and it gets to be the certain behaviors that determine that, okay, there's something serious going on, it's usually too late. So the sooner the better. The sooner the better, to take care of your brain health. Not just this body that we're in, like the outer look of it. It's important to take care of what's inside in order to take care of what's outside. All of it needs to be in balance and harmony. So with that being said, namaste.